Welcome back to Film Job. I'm Karen Kaufman Wilson, your host. I'm here with Andrew Roy, who has a ton of questions to ask me about the business. So let's get started.
So like you said, going around the studios and, introducing yourself to everybody, I've managed to meet a fairly good base of different production stuff like that. Like some of the television productions I've been a little hesitant to go into because I feel like it should be fearless though, but basically
just do it.
Yeah.
Right, just do it because other departments don't get to meet someone in casting. So
Exactly.
they'll be tickled pink to find out, like, what's your process and, like, who do you all think is hot right now? Who do you want to have a show around? You don't know what assistant you might meet who needs information you have at your fingertips. So there's all, like, for instance, there was a young lady that emailed me on my MySpace page, and she was working as an intern at New Line and had a project that she wanted for Sam Jackson. And I said, well, what's the problem? Sam Jackson has a first look deal with New Line. And she was like, he does? I'm like, okay, you've got this fertile land in front of you. Go meet everybody.
Exactly.
And come to find out, she meets another assistant who gets coverage done on her script, so she has a better sense of what someone on the inside thinks when they read her material. So you don't know what you could be bringing to somebody else by making the phone call. Because you've got something to offer them. You have information.
Yep. Basically just stay on everything, make sure you know what's going on in the business, who's doing what projects with what studio. And
Exactly.
Yeah, and options. People have several options in different studios. Then it means they're going to be at least tied in for one or two more pictures there, so make sure you know about that.
Absolutely. I don't think you can know enough. I don't think as I said earlier, it's very important to me that people are excelling based on a strong knowledge base. People who get a chance to have, positions opened up to them because of nepotism isn't that impressive to me. Look, I'm completely envious, but however, I don't necessarily respect it. So knowing everything that's going on in the business, reading the trades, and I used to keep a log of everything that was going on for all the writers, all directors, everything, long before there was Baseline and Studio System available.
IMDb is a huge...
IMDb is a great source. I tell everybody they need to bookmark it. It's free.
Yep, it's right up there. If I see... Because I'm like a sponge for that stuff. It's like, throughout my whole life, it's the only thing it's ever taken. That took was took classes in college for economics and stuff like that. I don't remember much of that, but I remember everything. Like I remember, Will Smith doing this movie back in 90, 6 Degrees Separation. I remember going from there to that, and this was being written by this person, that person. So I'm constantly checking out the site, checking out all the different movie sites, checking out Hollywood Reporter, Variety.
One of the things that's really good that is important to do when you're in front of someone and interviewing is saying exactly that kind of thing. I want to hire people who are hungry, and there are basically two types of assistants. There's the intellectual, the person who's seen every movie that Martin Scorsese has ever recommended and can quote some obscure French movie. Those people love hiring smart people. They think that's great. And then there's the hipsters. It's someone who knows, what's the new music, who's the new director, whatever is sort of hot and popping in the city. Everybody wants to know. You want to hire that kind of assistant just as much as you want to hire someone who's more of the intellectual, because we are trying to meet, most times, a young demo. So we want to know what's going on in the city.
Both of them have, their
Great
fingers
things.
tapped on different aspects,
But they both know. They both have knowledge, and that's, to me, what's absolutely crucial. They know what they know better than anybody else.
And it's also important to convey how much passion they have. Like me, I have just loved the film industry ever since I was a child. And just from the first time I ever watched Star Wars, it's just from there, just never stopped.
Well, because one of the things I ask people in the process is, what's your favorite movie? I can't tell you how many people have gone, I don't have a favorite movie. I'm not interested. You need to have an opinion. I need you to have an opinion. I need you to have a smart opinion.
Even if it's Weekend at Bernie's 2.
Yeah, But tell me why. Because maybe I work for a production company that's interested in making comedies.
Exactly.
Then you're a great person for me to hire. You know, for instance, my favorite movies are The Way We Were and Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. So, you know, you kind of get a sense of my taste. And people will sometimes hire people who have like taste or someone who has different taste because their boss wants to make a certain kind of movie.
Exactly. It's like me, I'm random. I like On the Waterfront and Dumb and Dumber.
Right. But if you're going into a certain, you know, into a production
Make
company,
sure you know, yeah.
understand the kind of movies they make and see if that's the right fit for you. I mean, you can fake it through the job interview sometimes, but you rarely can fake it once you get on the job.
Yeah.
So I found that I targeted companies where I had similar tastes.
Exactly. Yeah, you can maybe get the job once you get in there. You're going to flounder.
But you can't do it. Because, for instance, I'm not a Dumb and Dumber fan. I can't develop that movie. I don't know what's a funny fart joke. It just doesn't make sense to me. But something like Superbad, love, and could work on that, you know, for 10 years.
Exactly. Yeah, you really have to know. First off, do your research when you go on job interviews. Make sure you know what these people do, what products they have coming up, what projects they've done before, and who they know, just so you go in there and not like, yeah, you do that film? Wow, that's interesting.
Well, I had someone come and have an informational with me, 2 young guys. They were great directors, really smart, really passionate, and they said, you know, we want to make, you know, any movies besides things like Sprung. Like, that's just so not us. And I was like, well, I made that movie. And yeah, it's flawed.
Yeah, you don't want to.
But, you know, and luckily I don't care. You know, I've been insulted by the best of them, so that didn't faze me. But I told them just as a reference, like, you should, you know, like now there's Google. Like when I was doing it, there wasn't such a thing. You can get information about anybody. So know who you're talking to. Tailor your conversation to that, if it works for you.
Yeah, and I mean, as you said, we have Google and all that stuff. It's just a
there's no
keyboard
reason
type of way.
There's no reason to not know anymore.
Yeah, exactly.